What's up, my friends? Thanks everybody for joining us. We got a day full of downhill action packed and ready to drop on you right now. I can't believe we're starting the 2026 Crankworx World Tour already. This is great.
Yeah, I'm pumped up. It's February. We got it a little bit early. We're here in Christchurch. I'm stoked for it.
Thanks for joining us on the Crankworx YouTube channel. Since we have that little chat box in the bottom, I want to encourage you to engage in the conversation. We're going to be checking in with you, seeing who's weighing in on the races out here today. Obviously, we had seeding yesterday, so we're going to be running the racers in reverse order with our fastest racers dropping last. We want to hear who you are excited to see. We will also have some polls out there for you. If you are dropping us some comments, who knows, by the end we might even give something away to you. We have a tendency to do that over the years.
Yeah, you never know. We got some soft goods up here. You know, you leave us a good comment, we're going to pick you out. We see Work Less, Ride More has it figured out, and he's ready for some racing.
Yeah, if you're watching, you're already on the Crankworx YouTube channel, so make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be coming at you multiple times throughout this year. We're in summer right now in the Southern Hemisphere. It feels kind of crazy to all of a sudden transition from the Northern Hemisphere winter to be down here in the bright sunshine. And, you know, we've experienced all the different weather circumstances out here. The course has been getting watered by the clouds. Now things have dried up a little bit. We've got some wind on course. One thing that's really playing into the race today is pedaling into the headwind right now. This is a very physical course.
Yeah, absolutely, Cam. Not only is this one of the longest courses that these riders are going to see all year, it's also one of the most physical. And talking to some of the earlier riders coming down, it is a headwind. So being smooth, being consistent, conserving energy, because you're going to use all of it no matter what from top to bottom here today at the Redemption Downhill.
For sure, the riders with enduro backgrounds are definitely going to be thriving in the conditions out there today. We're going to hang out in the Southern Hemisphere for the next little bit while it's still summer, but we have a big world tour coming at you for the entire 2026 season. We're going to do 2 stops down here in the beautiful country of New Zealand. Starting out on the South Island right now, we're in Christchurch, Ōtautahi. And then we're going to move up to the North Island, where we've been coming for over a decade, Rotorua, and then back to Whistler up in Canada. We got another stop in BC, Silver Star, and then we'll finish off the season at legendary Mont Saint Anne on the eastern side of Canada with a legendary downhill track out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm stoked. New venues, a new year, 2026. Things are looking up for sure.
Something that's really unique about being here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch, is the fact that we are on a mountain right now with a chairlift taking you up to the top with your mountain bike. But we're also on the coast. You can surf, you can hang out in Sumner, and you know, kick it at the beach, catch some waves. You really have it all out here.
Yeah, I mean, being here at the Adventure Park is like an alternate universe. It's like a planned community of mountain biking, everything you need, a chairlift. It's open year-round, like year-round chairlift riding. That doesn't happen in many places in the world.
For sure, and the fact that this chairlift was built specifically for mountain biking, unlike a lot of mountains where, yeah, it was a ski resort first, and then, you know, they adapted into mountain biking. This is a purpose-built mountain bike park. Like I said, we've had some crazy weather conditions over the past few days. We want to give a big nod out to the trail crew out here, especially the events director, George Chapman, for making this event even possible after some heavy rains the last few days. A little bit of a reroute just to avoid some of the sections that were washed away a bit. And, you know, part of that reroute is going to make this course even more physical, especially considering those headwinds on the pedal sections.
Yeah, the biggest reasons for the reroute was just safety measures for these riders. I guess it was coming in. There's a 45-foot step down on this course that goes straight into a huge step up. Now with the wind picking up, they're going to need really, really comfortable trajectories coming into that section. So it's a good thing that they did that work and got this course safe for the riders.
This is the first broadcast of our time here in Christchurch, but just to get you caught up, we have had 2 races already. 2 days ago, it was all about Air DH. And this is a great place to come bring your bike and ride all the trails here. Of course, if you're a bike park, you got to have a flow trail packed with jumps. And that's what it takes to have an Air DH race. We ran that 2 days ago. Take a look at some visuals on screen. And Air DH is a challenging one because a lot of these trails are designed for trail speed, but to race it, you got to know how to scrub.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most physical races out here at the Crankworx World Tour. Straight into the quickest races right here. Last night we had Pump Track. Sabina Košárková taking the win again here in Christchurch. And on the men's side, what did you see, Cam?
Look at that, Ryan Gilchrist, the reigning king of Crankworx, two-time king of Crankworx. He's done it the last 2 years. He stood on the top step of the podium for the men in the pump track race last night. And here we are after 2 races completed here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch. We've started the tally for our king and queen of Crankworx overall standings. Look who's at the top there for the women.
Yeah, Jenna Hastings, our winner here in the downhill last year, also our #1 qualifier, so she's also going to be looking to stack those points on Sabina Košárková, who's right behind her, only 20 points right now.
Who should we be taking a look at for the men out here today? Let's see who's done well in the standings in the other 2 races. No big surprises here. We've got the 2018 King of Crankworx, Sam Blenkinsop, sitting there in 4th. Daniel Butterworth in 3rd. Tegan Cruz and Ryan Gilchrist rounding out the top 2. A couple names on there that we're definitely going to be looking for today in downhill.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam Blenkinsop, an absolute legend on the bicycle. Still out here, still killing it. Won the RDH just a couple of days ago. He's getting his season kicked off. He's, like you said, no stranger, the 2018 king. So he knows what it takes to stack points out here in all disciplines. I heard he was looking for a pump track bike yesterday because he's like, well, I won the RDH. I need to keep points getting stacked.
And that's how it goes on the Crankworx World Tour. The fact that we're seeing that already in the first stop. Once you do well at a discipline, you think, I'm going to try my hand at all the other ones and just keep that tally rolling. Thinking back to the downhill here last year, we have a lot of familiar faces that we saw do well last year, showing up again this year. One that comes to mind, Tegan Cruz. He was 3rd out here last year, but also super successful at all the other stops on the World Tour in 25.
Yeah, he was our overall champ for the downhill, 2nd. You know, I mean, he's really one of those riders that I think, you know, he had so many 2nd places in big events last year that, you know, this is the year he's going to capitalize on it.
And thinking back to the top step of the podium just a year ago, Lachie Stevens-McNab. He was 3rd overall in the series, but he's the guy to beat out here. He's relentless on this type of course, and the fact that he has that confidence coming in, knowing that he won it last year as well. Look out for him today.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely one to watch.
So we're talking about the youngsters, guys like Lachie Stevens-McNab, but we got to welcome back Loic Bruni, a legend, a 5-time world champion, a 4-time overall World Cup Series champion. It's been a while since we've seen him on the Crankworx World Tour again.
Yeah, it's been since 2023 since we've seen him. He won that event, so expect big things out of Loic.
Always exciting to have the legends back. And Jenna Hastings, the defending champion for the women, also the defending champion from Rotorua last year. And she's on home turf, the New Zealand national champion. Smart money is on Jenna.
Yeah, she's battled some injuries over the last couple of seasons, but things are really looking up, and I'm excited to see her kick off the season good.
And the fact that she's able to, you see that shot right there where she's got a little sister. This is the way things roll. When you see those siblings kind of rising up, you usually see that younger sibling overshadow the older sibling at some point. Is that what we're going to see starting here with Kate Hastings? She won the U19 category here just a year ago. She also won Rotorua in U19, but the thing that I think is most impressive about her is that even though she's so young, she's already figured out how to come back from injury and pick up pace, which we've seen evidence of already so far this very early on in the season. In the Southern Hemisphere, the season has already begun. All the riders up in North America are still looking at this as the off season, but not the Kiwis, not the Aussies. We're deep in it already.
Yeah, definitely. They have that endless summer racing all year round. Another one, Sacha Mills, we see here from Cairns 2025 getting on that podium. She's going to be one to watch here as well.
And we're going to do something kind of fun out here. This could be an opportunity for you to join the conversation in our chat. We're going to be rolling out a little feature called My New Favorite Rider. So, Alan, I want to hear what the viewers have to say, who their new favorite rider is. It doesn't have to be a new rider that you've never heard of, just who your favorite is, who you're going to be keeping your eye on. We're going to start with you, Alan. Who's your new fave?
Well, my new fave is Sabina Košárková. Not that she's new, but she's, the defending world champion, 2-time in pump track. She's known as a BMX racer. She's got her eyes set on the Olympics in 2028. but she's out here as the Czech national champion, and she's putting on points in all the disciplines.
All right, well, since she's fresh on my mind and I'm really excited to see how this story unfolds, I'm gonna go with my new favorite rider, Kate Hastings. I talked about her figuring out how to persevere through injuries. She actually broke both of her wrists in August. She's already back on the bike. She's already been racing. She won the first round of the New Zealand series. Look out for her. She's obviously got it upstairs between the ears in the helmet as well, because as we know, downhill very much is a mental game.
Yeah, you always got to watch out for those younger siblings too. They have the example of what to and what not to do. It's an unfair advantage.
Yeah, if that is your baseline foundation of normal, your big sister is Jenna Hastings, the possibilities are endless. So join us in the chat. We're going to pick a winner to give away a nice little piece of Crankworx Christchurch merch. Let us know who your new favorite rider is, and we'll keep tabs on your choices as we work our way through the field today.
Some nice art on that shirt.
Look at that. We always have new art. We're going to give you a little look at this downhill series here. Of course, we've got 5 stops on the 2026 World Tour. 100 points for a win, 26 points for 10th. Rack them up as many as you can. Hopefully, we see a lot of these riders traveling around the world with us all the way throughout the season. We'll see who can be on that top spot in the overall series standings by the end of the season as we wrap things up in Mont-Saint-Anne, Quebec.
Yeah, it's so important to stack those points. You know, being the king or queen of Crankworx, that's the type of thing on a rider's resume that almost guarantees a ride for the next season. It means so much out there in the world. It's important.
All right, this is the Redemption Downhill right here in beautiful Christchurch, New Zealand. We got the riders up at the top of the course. We're going to be dropping them shortly. Don't go away. Supported by the New Zealand government, helping bring world-class events like Crankworx to Ōtautahi. Oh, there we go. We got our first rider dropping into the top of the course here. This should be Sian A'Hern. Here we go, qualifying in the 9th position, Alan.
Yeah, Sian A'Hern's such a technical rider. We've seen her get so many awesome awards. The 2-time defending Australian national champ there. You see the sleeve on her arm representing.
She took the gold medal at the Crankworx Can Stop last year, back in May. You can just see on screen right here as we're getting our first looks at this course how technical this top rock garden is. Imagine picking a line through this.
Yeah, just keeping your eyes forward, staying focused, dodging the big holes, keeping your line is super, super important to carry momentum into this lower motorway section. This is where riders are going to be fully tucked and trying to get as much momentum out of every obstacle they can. Sian, the 4-time Australian national champ. Clearing those jumps nicely so far. So she's got good momentum on this bottom motorway section. And look at the time right now, 3:58. This is such a long physical course through here. Your lungs are bleeding, your legs are burning, and you're needing to pump as hard as possible over every single feature.
Yeah, speaking with some of the riders who were sitting in the hot seat down here in the finish corral in the U19 category, they were all saying the same thing. Such a physical course with so much pedaling, but also some sizable jumps on this one as well. So the fact that you got to make sure your arms aren't fatigued, your legs aren't fatigued, and you can muscle through these final pedal sections after holding on through the rock gardens and pumping through the jumps.
You can hear her breathing as she goes by. It is so physical. The headwind is making it so much more difficult for these riders. Sian, no stranger to injury, big knee injury back in 22, but showing how much she has love for this sport, making it happen. Looks like we got a rider on course, or a spectator on course there.
We got some viewers joining the chat. We are excited to be kicking off the season as well. Marcel, thanks for the enthusiasm.
Look at Sian there, staying focused, catching those backsides. That is what she needs to do right now. That's what's going to keep her momentum all the way around this final turn to the finish. Such a strong finish for how physical that course was.
Sian A'Hern right now posting the time to beat a 5:27.4.
Hey. Oh, come on. I'm only the only one here.
Yeah, but you earned it, so get on there.
Looking at that time just goes to show how much endurance is required here. Over 5 minutes for a downhill race is so long. And we're picking action up here at the top 9 riders from our seeding runs, which took place yesterday. So Sian sitting in the hot seat now, but a peek at who we have to come, Alan.
Yeah, Emily Carrick-Anderson. This is somebody that once I saw how physical this course was, I was interested to see how she was going to be able to tackle it. She has a bit of a cyclocross background, and if a cyclocrosser doesn't know how to suffer, they're not racing cyclocross, and I think that's going to come into play a little bit today.
There are so many pieces of this course where the technical ability will come into play, but as we're seeing and we're hearing down here in the finish corral, endurance is a big part of it. So when you're looking at EDR wins from the 2024 season from Emily Carrick-Anderson, will we see her post a faster time than what we just saw from Sian A'Hern?
And this is where I was talking. You see how smooth she was on those backsides, maximizing her momentum through this final turn, able to get solid pedals in, really, really showing where her fitness is at. She's ready for this 2026 season.
Sian, cozy in the hot seat as we await our first look at Emily in the start gate.
I'm just not exhausted now.
Yeah, we got a drinking game for you at home. You can drink anything you want. You know, it can be coffee. Coffee's big down here in New Zealand, but every time you hear a rider say exhausted, take a sip. We're talking about that wind a little bit. 14 miles per hour, 23 kilometers per hour, and obviously it's changing direction throughout the run here as this redemption downhill course weaves its way through Christchurch Adventure Park. But the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day to be in Christchurch. And whoever wins this race will have earned it.
Yeah, absolutely. The weather seems a bit unpredictable in this area. Yesterday there was nothing forecasted. All of a sudden, lift shuts down, thunderstorm. They're taking shuttles to the top in order to qualify. Everybody's really pulling out all the stops to make this event happen, and I'm so glad because it's a beautiful day out here today.
Good day for racing.
Taking a look back at Sian's 2025 Cairns run, where she was able to lay down the power and upset the winner of this race the last 3 years prior, Miss Hannah.
We got Emily Carrick-Anderson in the start gate, ready to see if she has what it takes to knock Sian A'Hern out of that hot seat where she's been getting cozy the past couple minutes. Here we go. Emily Carrick-Anderson on course.
Straight in, there's no warm up for this track. Straight on the pedals, having to pump for everything you got into the headwind. Off this step down, having to stay really, really sturdy through this section. It's hard to believe, but the wind is blowing enough to where it could possibly blow you offline. Emily looking super comfortable. Her Enduro World Cup history is definitely helping out in these super tight technical sections. She comes from Peebles, Scotland, where it has some of the tightest trails up there in Golfy. Those planned forces really turn into a slalom.
I love seeing the heckle section here. What a great spot in the rock garden to cheer on your favorite rider.
Emily looking really good. You can tell she's feeling strong by the way her core is staying very, very strong through that section. She's not collapsing. She's steering the bike with her shoulders, leading with her eyes. Let's see what she's got down in this physical section. How much can she hurt? Every one of these riders is going to feel every ounce of the same pain. Some are just going to go a little bit faster.
What do you think's the mindset for a rider who has what it takes to win an EDR enduro race when they're approaching a downhill race right here that is definitely physical? It's got to be nice to know that you can just throw it all on the line right now. It's just basically one race instead of multiple stages.
Yeah, it's definitely a different mentality. We're going to find out right here. She's currently 4.03 back on that last split. Let's see what this flat section split will tell us. See if some of that cyclocross fitness and just ready to hurt is going to come in play. Taking that smooth line around the corner. Look at the struggle. You can tell that this wind is taking a toll.
That's the thing, right? When you're in this section of the course, you're going to feel like, wow, I'm completely blowing it. But guess what? Everybody's got to go through that section as well. Sure, some may get lucky with lulls in the wind, but everybody's got to grind it out just like you are right now. 7.7 back right now for Emily.
Slipping back just a little bit, and this is where Sian was so perfectly smooth, getting every ounce of backside. You can see Emily right there, not quite the speed to clear those doubles, so she's going to lose a little bit more time in this final section here. Little bit of a tag right there, but not much. Clean on that one. Hold it straight across the finish line, able to get a pedal in, so she had a little bit of juice, but goes up 14 seconds on that run.
How do you go on the first jump? It was blowing hay, oh my god. Yeah. That was scary. It's like, is it windy? I was in the stalling zone.
You can hear these riders talking about how the wind is affecting them up in these technical sections. Look at the tape blowing, but Emily able to keep it straight, looking really strong through this section here.
We've seen riders posting POV clips of practice, and there are so many different lines in some of these rock gardens. There's some sneaky high lines to avoid getting stuck down low in the chunder. A lot of deep holes in some other technical sections.
Course proving to be just a bit too physical for Emily to maintain that position, but Sian really laid one down.
Well, I feel like this is a good opportunity right now to take a glimpse at this entire course. Let's go on board with Loic Bruni for a course preview.
Good morning, everybody. We're here at Crankworx. I'm going to take you on the Redemption downhill course today. Check it out. Redemption course, Loic Bruni is your rider. Just keep it brought down. Very good. Yeah, already. Quick. Do this first technical section. Big rocks. I'm going inside. Wow. This is one of the most physical tracks. That's the first race of the year. We're about to feel our legs. This is the last section, let's say, of the track. That's fully dark in the woods. And super enduro style. High frequency holds. Rock drilling to the fairway. This is gonna be hard.
Well, if Loic Bruni says it's going to be hard, that means something.
Yeah, even another hidden challenge there for these riders. Those shadows on the course makes it even more difficult to stay online. They have the wind, they have the physicality, they have the technicality. This course is really challenging these riders right here. And next up is Isla O'Connor.
Isla O'Connor, the youngster out of Canada. We've seen her at Crankworx before. She won the pump track in the U19 category in the 2024 season. And here she is trying her hand at this redemption downhill, seeing if she has what it takes to take that spot away from Sian A'Hern.
Yeah, look at the wind blowing. This point right here of the course is on a razor's edge. No protection from the wind. Her front tire almost going over that turn right there, but she was able to keep it going in the right direction. That's right, Slick MTB. The rock garden is very gnarly.
It changes everything, right? It's one thing to hear us talking about it, but when you go on board with Loic Bruni and he is commenting on how gnarly the rock garden is and how physical this first big race of the season will be, it makes it real.
Yeah, these riders are going to be counting the days that they got in on training, or maybe how many ice creams they had in the off season. They're going to feel it all by the time they get to the finish line on this course.
That's kind of one thing you said ice cream, and it's reminded me of my little walk last night. Kind of one thing I love about being here in Christchurch is if you got a little time off, you can go to the beach or you can cruise around downtown, go get some gelato, pick up a nice coffee. There are all the things here in Christchurch.
Including painful motorways right here. And Isla O'Connor is giving it everything she has right there on the on-off. Gets a little bit hung up right there, and Buck, that's going to kill her momentum. She's going to feel every ounce of that case all the way to the finish line from here.
Well, we saw Emily kind of go around that double on the inside that we just saw Isla tag a bit. It's interesting what of those jumps riders decide to bypass, trying to carry speed.
Yeah, it's so hard to make those on-the-fly decisions. It depends on your speed, but a lot of your sort of sense of speed is how much wind you feel. And when it becomes windy, you start to second guess that speed. And that's where it gets really, really difficult on knowing, do I have the speed to clear the jump? Is it faster to go around? But man, she is laying the power down right here, keeping it going, not giving up 1 ounce. Falling back right there, a little over 20 seconds in the last split. So she's definitely feeling the wind and the physicality. That just proves such a good run that Sian had right there. I don't know, I didn't see if she had a mistake in qualifying. Fans there giving a little bit of advice. Pedal.
You're like, I'm trying to.
Yeah, that's all you can do. You can't feel your arms, you can't feel your legs. You're just trying to make circles.
Pedal, I want to.
Nice, cleared that jump right there, keeping her momentum into the finish line. She's gonna fall quite a ways back here, but a strong finish into the corral, going 32.6 back. So Sian is gonna stay into that hot seat.
It's funny, Sian was surprised to be directed toward the hot seat when she finished her run, but she's been hanging out there for a bit.
I always say a rider with no expectations is the most dangerous rider on course. Had a strong gate right there, popped right in, taking that lower line around that first jump, possibly trying to save some energy for what she knew was gonna come. And up here in the heckle section, we can see she's fighting that wind just a little bit right there, dropping in. And this right here, where the lungs are bleeding and the legs are burning, feeling all the feels. coming down to the bottom of this Redemption downhill track. Course almost goes uphill back there, and usually riders are carrying the momentum into that, but today with the wind, it is a fight to the finish.
Oh, hey, Sean, you're hanging out in the hot seat right now. When you crossed the finish line, we could tell you were like, oh my God, that was so challenging. Are you surprised to still be in the hot seat, and how long do you think it's gonna last? How did that run go for you?
Honestly, I'm so stoked to be in the hot seat. It's after 9 months off due to a shoulder reconstruction, so like second race back now for me, so I'm just happy with any outcome. And honestly, today I just wanted to do a run that I was proud of and happy with the effort I put in. And given the tricky conditions with the wind up the top, I was pretty nervous dropping in, like, oh, is it gonna blow me? But yeah, I was super stoked and honestly just happy to be here, happy to be back racing, and hopefully I can last a little longer on the hot seat, but I'm just really happy with my performance today and just building into hopefully a really good year ahead.
Well, welcome back. It's great to hear that you're healthy and enjoy that time on the hot seat. That's the first step, right? Just getting back, getting that first race under your belt. Good job.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like Sean has a good plan coming in with no expectations, just getting to the bottom of the hill and just building on the season.
We got Bellah Birchall loading up into the gate up at the top of the course right now. Will she have what it takes to knock Sean out of that hot seat where she's getting kind of cozy right now?
Yeah, definitely. That hot seat is where you want to stay, 100%.
So we're chipping away at it. Obviously, the final rider to drop in our women's field here today will be our #1 qualifier from seeding yesterday, Jenna Hastings. She also happens to be the defending champion from Redemption Downhill here in Christchurch 2025. She won the Whistler Air DH last year as well. We could go on and on. That's what this start list will lead to. Right now, it is all about Bellah Birchall dropping in. She won the Air DH in Rotorua in the U19 category just last year. Her 6th place qualifier on course.
Yeah, Bellah Birchall, part of a strong contingent coming out of the Oceania in the last year or two. She's been on some Crankworx podiums. Really looking to make a statement here today.
Yeah, PC account. We waited all day for this too. It's on.
Bellah ranked 23rd in the world, looking pretty strong right here through the rock section up on this spine.
Bellah just under 6 seconds back here. See if she can make it up in the pedally section, the grueling pedaling section. She's carrying good speed here.
Going really long on that jump, staying low, but clearing it, catching that backside. That's what she needs to do. Keep an eye on that back tire. You want to see it land smooth. No bounces, no hanging up. That's what's going to keep the momentum on. Looking clean on that on and off. Sucked it up. Got the pump on the backside.
Ooh, riding the entire main line here.
Up off the shark fin. A little case there. Gets a little off rhythm. Back on the pedals, but does a smart move right there. Goes around that bigger lip. Staying on the ground is going to be more speed for her right here.
One tag on that rhythm section has such a chain reaction. You want to carry all that speed you can through those jumps, so this pedal section comes in with the most momentum as possible.
She's pulled back a little bit of time there in the middle section, 4.5 back. Let's see what she can do coming out of this physical motorway right there. Let's see how she looks coming up this hill. She has a bit of momentum right there, maybe a little too hard a gear, but able to pedal it out, keeping it going. This is when all you can hear is the heartbeat in your head. Your eyes are crossed, tasting blood in the back of your throat.
You got to imagine it's all about the pre-downshift right before that little section that goes uphill for a little bit.
Lost a little bit of time there in the flat section. Let's see what she can do through these jumps. That's where Sean was so clean. I'm going to say that was her strongest sector. You'd have to look back right there, but it's going to be hard to catch her through here. Bellah looking clean, making those jumps look really smooth and easy. She doesn't look tired coming across the line. Nice big push, down 12.345 seconds into second place though. Awesome run for Bellah Birchall right there.
Lost a lot at the bottom.
Does so hard count? Do they have to drink, Cam?
Yeah, that pedal.
Nope, only exhausted.
I feel like I could maybe
Yeah, have a lay down.
sleep.
Yeah, that's
Because why? Because you're exhausted.
All right, look back here. I mean, she was holding it pretty steady at right about 5-6 seconds back the majority of the run. It's that bottom, I feel like it was just really starting to bonk out where she lost that extra 7 seconds.
Yeah, you can see how clean she is right there, dropping in, taking that high line on the exit of that rock garden. She did get a second back on Sean through there, but Sean proving to be too powerful through this physical motorway section and lost that time back. Look at the effort, everything getting left out on the track for all of these riders today. This is the first of 5 in this downhill series. Super important to get kicked off in a good way.
We're still at the top of the course, have Sacha Mills, Kate Hastings, Sabina Košárková, Eliana Hulsebosch, and your #1 qualifier, Jenna Hastings, yet to drop. Sian A'Hern holding on to that top spot, getting cozy in the hot seat.
Yeah, Sean's looking good on that new bike, off the YT and on Specialized. We were checking out that frame paint that she had earlier, one of my favorite paint jobs.
That was the one that looked distressed, right? That
Yeah.
looked so good. Well, the reason we've seen everybody's bike so far who's racing this downhill race today, the Redemption Downhill, is this is a tight little venue right here. You're rubbing elbows with some of the fastest downhill racers in the world by just walking through the venue. Eating lunch at the food trucks, you might bump into Loic Bruni, Finn Iles, Jenna Hastings. And you can throw your bike on the lift and get some laps in for yourself as well. Tomorrow we're going to keep things rolling with the first big slopestyle competition of the year. Make sure to mark your calendar, set some time aside to join us tomorrow. Yeah, the crazy quad rider says this is the perfect start into the weekend. Crazy quad rider got up at 5:35 a.m. in Germany to join us here. We love your style. All right, up in the gate right now, it's time to welcome Sacha Mills. She took the bronze medal, 3rd place at Cairns DH last May. She's won an IXS Cup, and she was 3rd in pump track just last night.
Yeah, she's having a good start to her Crankworx campaign, also 5th in the Air DH. So let's see if Sacha Mills can keep that momentum going, keep racking up those points. I think she was just off maybe 4th in overall Queen, so she's looking to be stacking points, looking really smooth through this technical section right here.
Yeah, a good result here in the Redemption Downhill could really help her in the Queen standings, considering she's got a 3rd and a 5th already just in the last 2 days of competition. She's only 3.4 back. This is the most in touch we've seen anybody to Sian A'Hern's time so far.
Yeah, absolutely. She's pushing through these upper technical sections. It looks like the wind maybe died down a little bit for her.
Ooh.
I don't see those flags blowing, so maybe some extra confidence, but she looks super smooth through that rock garden.
I usually don't like acknowledging the presence of luck at all in sport, but in this case, if you do get a lull window when you drop in and you're not battling that headwind, that could be such a huge advantage here today.
Yeah,
Ooh.
absolutely. She's rocketing out of that rock garden. She's falling back just a little bit. Let's see what she can do, putting the power down in this motorway.
Yeah, I mean, lost another 5 seconds, unfortunately.
So Sean did something special off camera. We'll have to see as we get down this rider list if someone can unseat her. Sacha Mills losing a little bit more momentum on that double. It's so hard when your eyes are crossed and you see 2 trails. It's like, which one do I take? Pushing through right there, never giving up, trying to get a pedal in every single place she can, going around that jump, saving some momentum. staying low, doing everything she can to keep the cranks turning. Like you were saying, this is such a mental game too, knowing you're hurting that bad, but having no idea that everybody else has just been through the same thing.
You have to just keep reminding yourself of that, don't you? But just the consequence of even the smallest tag leading into that flat section can just have such lasting consequences as we see the split continue to extend the gap here. She's 10 seconds back now.
We saw Sean doing a little dance in the hot seat right there. If a rider has not caught her by this point, it's going to be very, very hard to beat her. She had such a strong bottom section. I'm not sure if she was saving energy or what it was, but she nailed every move right there. Nice little back tire roll. She's going to gain speed right there, Sacha Mills. That was a solid move. But like I was saying, Sian A'Hern was so perfect through this bottom section. It's going to be hard to catch.
Well, Sacha Mills will not disrupt that top spot, going 23 seconds back. I mean, we've got 2 more riders to go. If Sian is able to dodge 2 more bullets, she'll secure herself a podium spot. But guess what? We're getting faster and faster with every rider.
It's so hard, eh? Hard to make up for lost time when you like stall.
I was just sitting down.
Sian A'Hern proving she's put in the time post-shoulder injury. She's fit and ready for this 2026 season, posting up a solid time and spending a nice residency in this hot seat. Taking a look back.
Started out strong.
Yeah, started out super strong. Catching the backsides of those landings. Solid off the drop. And here, this is where she caught lucky with the wind. You can see those banners on the side. The tape is dead still. She got the maximum advantage there. And this is where it started to go a little bit backwards. And Sian A'Hern stays in that hot seat.
We're cranking things up right now. I'm looking at our start list. Next rider to drop will be Kate Hastings. I chose her as my new favorite rider.
I was like half picking up and I was like,
Yeah, what is going to be her best section right here? What is it going to take to pass up Sian's time?
You just gotta have to love pancakes the whole run. Be as excited in that pedal section as you are dropping into that rock garden at the beginning. How hard did you train in the off season, everybody? We're about to find out here. Kicking the season off with the Redemption downhill. There she is, 18 years of age, out of another one of our favorite places in the world where we have a Crankworx World Tour stop, Rotorua, New Zealand. Kate Hastings on course.
Kate Hastings, our 4th place qualifier right here. She's dominated the opening Oceania Series races. Look at the wind right there, so she's going to be battling. Let's see how she can handle that coming through these technical rock gardens up on this ridge. There's no wind protection.
Mr. Vanderlugd, we agree. What is more murderous, that rock garden or that pedal section? Choose your poison, Vanderlugd.
Kate looking really good right here, composed, not overriding the bike. Mistakes can compound so quickly in a section like this. The ground is falling away from you. Any slight movement where you have to let go of the brakes in order to recover, you might just end up going too fast right here. So she's in touch right here.
Less than a second back, 0.9 at split number 1. Kate Hastings in the elites category here. She's been quite dominant in the U19s.
A couple of things that might help Kate. Before she got into mountain biking, she was super big into hockey and running. 2 sports that I think will very much help in this lower section. The physicality of running and the pure determination and brute force of hockey right here. Let's see if she can unleash it.
Yeah, you're gonna need some hockey grit to just keep on the pedals coming up this section.
She's looking really, really strong, pedaling everywhere she can. She doesn't look too fatigued right here. Got her head down. This is really where we see how people are going. She's still clearing the jumps. So probably one of our faster sections right here. She lost a little bit of time in the middle there, 1.5 back. Can she lay down the power and put it past Sian A'Hern's fastest time?
I mean, Sian's got to be stoked as soon as she's, that's a lot of shows. as soon as she saw that 1.5 back, because she was less than a second back at split number 1.
Oh, look at the dust right there. Looks like Kate's getting some tough wind right after that hill climb. That is worst case scenario right there. My least favorite type of riding, headwind uphill.
Oh, Kate is digging. She's over a second ahead right now. Oh, Sean, I just made eye contact with Sean, and Sean goes, oh no.
I'm not sure if it was the hockey or the running, but she absolutely smashed that middle motorway section. Let's go, Kate. That's right, Marilyn sees you.
Oh, she's carrying speed through these jumps. That's where she's getting the edge.
She looks good. Can she do it? Coming across. Here's the time.
Oh, she did not do it.
So that bottom sector of Sian A'Hern is going to be so hard to beat.
What happened there at the bottom? She was over a second ahead. Let's listen.
Good job. Oh my God. You had my like belly going. Good job. Oh my God.
It's actually so funny being right here. No. Oh man, Sean.
That was a solid effort. Kate laid it all down in that motorway, was able to make up that time and actually take the lead. But then that lower section where I said Sean was so strong, she lost a bit of it back and ended up 1.5 back. But let's look and see where she got that time. Got a little unlucky with the wind right there. Coming through, but looked very, very solid right down that center line in the rock garden. Absolutely in pain, but looking very strong. I think that's where she was able to make up that time. Some of that running stamina possibly getting her down here, but this is where Sean was too strong to beat. She was able to catch so much momentum off every obstacle.
Oh yeah. Hey, Kate, you kept us on the edge of our seat right there. We were watching the splits, something you did not have the luxury of knowing as you're coming down that course. You were within touch, but you were behind most of the time. And then you went ahead, and then you ended up dropping behind again. What happened toward the bottom right here? Did you have any notable mistakes?
I ran out of leg power.
Understandable.
My legs are still jelly.
How does this compare to other races in the fitness category?
It's like the one where you need the most fitness. It's really hard.
Well, good job out there. We could tell you were digging as hard as you could. You're obviously sitting in second place right now, so you get to just sit back and watch the show. But thanks for giving us a roller coaster.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad I could be of service.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, we're gonna get to the start list and see who's coming up next. Way to go! I'll take that from you. What a performer!
Yeah, she's got an illustrious career ahead of her, I believe.
Sabina Košárková next on the start list. We know her from BMX. We know her from pump track, but she has joined the Crankworx World Tour and decided she wants to be a downhill racer now as well, and we love it. She's a third place qualifier from our seeding round yesterday, and she's charging hard out of the gate already.
Yeah, getting a lot of pedals in right off the gate. She knows she's going to have to get as much momentum as possible and really be perfect from top to bottom. Sabina, one of my favorite riders out here. It was last year in the pump track when she won. It was her first race on a mountain bike, and it was the first time she had raced pump track on dirt. So now she's coming back as the Czech national champ, and she's really defending and padding those points that she got from last night's pump track win.
It's so cool to see, and we've seen it time and time again on the Crankworx World Tour, where riders come in having their chosen discipline, and then they branch out as soon as they get wind of the queen overall. Oh my God, look at this. She's up by 1.2.
Yeah, losing the rear end coming into that section. There's a real skinny ladder there. She was able to get the wheel back in line and didn't miss that ladder, but that was a close call going into that rock garden for Sabina. Some nice riding there. And this is where she's going to be strong, this BMX section. She knows how to pump. She uses those legs to her advantage and pumps so strong and gets so much momentum.
And you got to think, she's been building those technical skills, which are out of the way now, and now she gets to just lean on what are already her strengths, which is pumping prowess, pedaling prowess, and just general endurance from her BMX and pump track backgrounds. She's 1.1 up at the last split.
Yeah, having a strong section, maybe running out a little bit of gas right here, but the motorway is where she's going to be able to take an advantage. You see that back tire roll? She's maintaining momentum, trying to get every ounce of forward momentum out of this course she can. Sabina looking pretty good right here. Definitely laying it down. You hear her in oxygen debt, red zone. If we had heart rates on here, it would be all of it. What's your heart rate? All of it.
Yeah.
Sitting down, still pedaling, trying to use different muscles, giving herself a little bit of a rest. Let's see if she can maintain that 1.1 after this motorway section. And yes, she's up 3.1. Now this is where Sian was really strong, so she's gonna have to finish this run. It's not over yet for Sabina.
Extending her lead now to 3.16.
Back on the pedals, clearing those jumps just as clean as we saw Sian A'Hern. So this is gonna be a good run for Sabina Košárková. Looking good through the rollers around the final turn. What's she got?
Oh my
goodness!
No way!
0.5.
Sian must have done something miraculous at the bottom. Sian is so surprised. Let's listen.
You are a champion, you know, you're insane.
Unbelievable. Sian A'Hern's bottom section looked strong to me, but man, I did not expect that after seeing Sabina absolutely crush from top to the last section.
No way, and that guarantees Sian A'Hern a seat on the podium with just 2 riders left to go. She's guaranteed at least 3rd place.
Be happy. You're insane.
Talk about a plan coming to fruition. Sian talking about just wanting to be here, just get a clean run in, and here she is killing it. And right there, that's where we saw Sabina get a little bit offline, but she stayed true, made that ladder. And man, I can't call where Sian made up that time. I mean, like I said, she looked so clean, but so did Sabina through here. These riders are fighting for milliseconds and millimeters, trying to get that extra little bit of time.
Okay, Sian, my favorite part of the race so far right now has been watching your face. I'm looking up at the times coming through, but I'm mostly just looking at your face. She was green. She comes through, she's red. What does that feel like?
I don't even have any words, to be honest. I'm like, no way. I definitely didn't think I'd have that, especially after seeing 3 seconds up, and I was like, all right, we'll cop a 4th place today, but
yeah, Sian, when we were watching you come through, we saw that lower section looking amazingly clean. Is there something in there that sticks out to you in your mind that, like, yes, I nailed that?
I don't know, because I didn't get enough speed to clear some of the jumps. I was like, okay, as soon as I had a headwind, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like pump and then pedal, pump, pedal, and then I just committed to like pumping pedal, jumped a few, and then just tried to pedal this last bit, come and step down, and like, well, this is the best I've done, so I'll just try from here.
Well, you're guaranteed at least a 3rd place with only 2 riders left to drop, so congrats
happy.
on that.
And, thank you.
And that's been my favorite part, so thanks for the little show right here.
My facial expressions.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. I'm
All right,
stoked.
go get a good seat. Here we go, 2 more riders left to go. And they are our 2 fastest riders from seeding. It's going to be Eliana Hulsebosch, the syndicate rider, and then our #1 qualifier, the defending champion from here last year, Jenna Hastings. It's getting good, Alan.
Oh yeah, it's getting good. One of the hottest seats on the World Cup is to be a member of the syndicate, Eliana Hulsebosch. She is from Tauranga, 18 years old, doing it out here for the Santa Cruz Syndicate. Let's see what she's got. Looking really strong out the gate, attacking this course. Look at that win. That is going to be a challenge through this rock garden. She's using speed to her advantage. Looking clean so far. Eliana a little bit choppy going into that turn. Able to keep her momentum and her trajectory. A 5:23 in qualifying. Let's see what she can do out here in finals. The track has developed. The wind has picked up. Looking clean through here. You know Steve Pete's going to be at home watching this. He's been training her as the rider coach for the syndicate. She's looking really strong. Up 7.7. Unbelievable start to this course. Let's see if she can carry it through now onto the motorway, where we've seen the race made or broken.
Well, oh my goodness, she is 14 seconds faster right now.
That's not luck on wind. That's not luck on line. That is pure power and skill right here at Eliana.
And we know it's not luck on wind because that looked to be the windiest we've seen on camera. Obviously, you can only...
Gets a little bit hung up coming out of that shark fin and misses the rhythm there. Slowed down a little bit, but man, she's got 14 seconds to play with. She's looking pretty good right now. No stranger to winning dual slalom in Rotorua in 24 first.
Well, her seating time was 4 seconds faster than the current fastest time today here in finals. She's got 14 seconds to play with. We've seen some crazy stuff take place, like maybe a kid on the course. Hunter rides MTB, the wind looks atrocious. Yes, which is just a testament to how hard Eliana Hulsebosch is digging right now.
Yeah, look at that acceleration. That was some of the best acceleration after that hill that I've seen. Look at her sitting down, still pedaling, grunting, giving it everything that she can give to that pedal. Now, this is where Sian was strong from here down. 13.6 seconds, so she lost a little bit there. But let's see how she can finish this off. We know Sian was strong.
Hulsebosch with still a lot of wiggle room here.
Still on the pedals. That's a good sign. She can still feel, still put in that momentum. Backsides is what it's going to take from here on out. Looking good right there, up onto the step up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, pops out into that berm a little bit late, but she's got this.
Oh, no problem. Eliana Hulsebosch, fastest time, 5:18.5. You got a new leader finally for the first time in the race.
Yeah, she was able,
Well done.
Sian was able to pull back 6 seconds on that overall time right there between two of them. So something special out of Sian A'Hern after that injury, but not enough for Eliana. Making Uncle Steve happy, getting onto that hot seat out here in Christchurch.
Oh, thank you.
Eliana Hulsebosch making magic, taking over the hot seat with one rider left to drop. That rider, of course, will be Jenna Hastings.
It was okay.
Jenna Hastings up at the top.
Felt really tentative in the top. I don't know.
You hear her say she felt a little tentative in the top.
Yeah, I didn't quite see where maybe that section was. I mean, a rider always knows where their skills are at, but she was looking really, really strong from what I could see right there. You could see taking that outside line a little bit faster, entry into that lower berm. And right here, like you said, Rig 25, yeah, she just kept getting better from here all the way down the hill.
Obviously, it's hard to say what section she's referring to when she says she felt a little bit too tentative. It certainly wasn't the section that we had on screen because she looked to be attacking that top rock garden.
Yeah, it could have just been some of the wind got into her mind, held back just a little bit, but man, that was a heck of a run.
New time to beat a 5:18.
Festival vibes out here. Everybody enjoying some sunshine. It's been quite rainy this season for Christchurch, but here they are getting Crankworx served up on a sun platter.
It's great watching the fans lap the bike park all day until it's race time and then now congregate down here in the festival village to watch some of the fastest racers in the world take to this redemption downhill course. Things heating up in the women's category with one rider left to go. A very accomplished rider at that.
You can see here some of her clips from that Air DH win just a couple of days ago.
All right, here we go. Number one rider from seeding, Jenna Hastings, the defending champion here at Redemption Downhill on course.
Yeah, she's gonna wanna collect those points and extend her lead. Our current queen leader right now, qualifying was a 5:16, so she has what it takes. Let's see how she can get through these rock gardens here. Looking smooth, looking good in and out of that turn. We saw Eliana get a little hung up there, so maybe she's got some time. The splits will tell us Jenna looking composed and definitely on her line right now through the wind.
Well, she has what it takes to go 2 seconds faster than our current leading time right here. We know that based on her seating time, but will conditions play a part? And will she be recovered from that performance just yesterday?
Yeah, the confidence mentally she must have coming here, knowing she's won.
Just back by 1.2 at split number 1.
So she's in touch. She knows what it takes to win here, last year's winner. But Eliana put on a master class down here through the motorway, extended her lead. Can Jenna keep it going? She's looking pretty good on the on-off, catches the backside, looking really good on energy. She's picking that bike up, getting the nose down. You really want to get the front tire down just a split second before the rear tire. That's how you get the most pump off those backsides. It takes control and it takes a lot of energy to be able to do that, and she's killing it right now.
Ooh, the New Zealand national champion, 3 seconds slower right now behind Eliana Hulsebosch. There is hope for Eliana. Will Jenna Hastings find magic down here at the bottom?
Eliana lost a little bit of time to Sean down here, but will it be enough for Jenna? This has been a tall tail section. How fast can you accelerate after this climb? Eliana absolutely smashed that acceleration point. Jenna still on the pedals, putting in everything she can.
Ooh, anxious to see what this next split says.
And she's up
by just over a half a second.
And we've seen how important these bottom jumps can be with how Sian A'Hern stayed in that hot seat for so long. Can Jenna Hastings equal that performance on this lower section?
It's going to come down to the wire here. Who will win this one? Will it be Eliana Hulsebosch, or will it be 2 years in a row for Jenna Hastings? We are moments away from finding out.
Jenna Hastings looking clean right here. She's gonna come across.
She does it!
By 2.5 seconds, extending her lead through that lower section. What a run. That's a cry breathe. That's what you heard right there.
Nice work, dude. Yeah, imagine.
Wow, what an effort there from Jenna Hastings. There's such a mental component to having the ability to push yourself so far past the comfort zone of endurance, hammer those pedals all the way to the finish.
Yeah, it becomes a skill beyond fitness to be able to just live in that pain zone, that being on that red zone. And there you go, that gold medal.
Oh God.
Absolutely stoked, extending her lead in the Queen overall, no doubt, with a win here in the Redemption Downhill. What stands out to you here, Cam? Well, this was clean through the rock art. You can see how she accelerated, hopped over that little hole right there. And that is super important as you enter this motorway. Just Jake 7-7, atta girl.
Janene, atta girl, Janene. Should we call her Janene when we interview her? Or is that only for close friends? What was his name, Jake?
I already forgot.
Jake, tell us in the chat, should we call her Janene, or is that just like a you and her thing? I'm gonna call her Janene. Oh, she's right here. She's listening. Janene, congratulations on winning the Redemption Downhill for 2 years in a row. I have a feeling I know the answer to this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. What was the hardest part of taking the win?
From like the step down out of the trees, basically that whole pedal. But that's self-explanatory. I actually blew off track at the top and like was on a completely different line and like squared out one of the corners, and then I was just like, oh, just keep going. That's only like 30 seconds in, just keep going, keep pushing, like don't push too much, keep it smooth. And then when I got to the bottom, I was already cooked and I was like, just pedal.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me, that rock garden, you said you blew off. Was it above or below that rock garden? How much was the wind affecting your line in there?
It was like, you literally come like out the gate, first jump, over the bridge, and then you kind of come down this real fast chute, and there's like quite an off-camber turn into an off-camber section. I just went straight basically, so that's quite at the start. And then that whole rock garden section, it was actually really windy. Not really in the rock garden section, but kind of a bit further up. And I was getting blown like, I went so off my line, so off track, but just kept going. The rock garden wasn't too windy, but yeah.
Well, good recovery and way to make it down to the bottom in the lead.
Yeah, I know, I'm stoked.
You earned that one. Congratulations. Thanks for the good show. It was up and down. You were ahead, you were behind, you were ahead.
In my run, I was down and then up and then felt good and then felt bad and then was where I didn't want to be and then was like, no, you can keep going. And oh my God.
A glass case of emotion.
Go celebrate, Jenna. Congratulations.
Yeah, I will. That was really hard. And like all the other girls, especially Eliana coming up to Elite this year, I was actually really scared. And she crashed yesterday and was 6 seconds back and I was like, oh no. But it was really nice to race all the girls and first race with my sister. So yeah, it was sick.
That's really exciting. We've been following her. I chose her as my new favorite rider, and so we're going to check in on where she actually finished here in a minute. But what is it like seeing your sister come into the elite ranks now?
Not going to lie, like some tracks I know I'll be a little bit scared because she's really fast on some tracks and like not so fast on some others, but I think that will all come with time and experience. And yeah, it's really fun to have her up here racing with me.
It's going to be a really fun season watching you two battle it out. Thanks for the show today.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
Cheers. Well, let's take a look at these final results here, shall we, and see how our picks for new favorite riders did. You picked Sabina Košárková. I picked little sis, Kate Hastings. I love hearing Jenna's insight there. The fact that she had gone off course, found her way back on, obviously lost a ton of time there, but still had the perseverance to just keep hammering through that final section. And also to just get that insight that she's a little bit, worried about having Eliana in the elite ranks, having little sis Kate in the elite ranks. It's going to be a good season.
Yeah, definitely. She's feeling the pressure, and for good reason, because those riders were right there on her heels. It's pretty amazing that she was able to recover from going off track, and it sounded like maybe she was able to tackle that wind a little bit better than some in that rock garden. It's so exposed in that section. It was amazing that she was able to stretch out her lead there. Speaking of stretching out her lead, those points going towards Queen, going to be super valuable throughout this 5-stop season.
Oh, we still have the pro men category to go, but we're going Christchurch Adventure Park, lift access riding, epic trails, and a 1.1 kilometer zip line. Adventure starts here.
Yeah, such a good race with the women up there. The conditions are definitely playing a factor, but we're seeing really this course giving everything to these riders. The technicality, the brute strength you need in the rock gardens, and the physicality at the bottom. It's really a whole package.
And speaking of the whole package, Christchurch seems to have it, everything from mountain sports to ocean sports. You know, we love places like that.
Yeah, when we were driving in here, it was kind of like going into a movie set or some futuristic set. It was like, welcome to mountain bike world, like I was on another planet that was built out of my mind.
All the things we love. Coffee culture is really huge here in Christchurch. Tons of cafes, super small menus with just well-curated menu items, and a lot of these cafes just taking so much pride in the way they roast their beans and the way they prepare their, not lattes, their flat whites down here in New Zealand. That's the way to do it. Just a little bit less milk. You taste the coffee a little bit more. But just a time spent here can be packed with so many different activities, from surfing to mountain biking. And as somebody who lives in Santa Cruz, somebody who grew up there, and me, we love those two sports. And the fact that you can do them all here in Christchurch, Ōtautahi, means this place just kicks ass.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, part of New Zealand culture, and it definitely shows here. It's all about quality over quantity. That's quality of life, quality of coffee, quality of food. It's really the whole package.
So we got the men's field coming up. We obviously had seeding yesterday. We got some big names out there. Some youngsters ready to shake it up with the elites as well. Same as what we saw in the women's field.
Yeah, it was a tight battle for these riders to make it into this live feed today. We got some exciting riders, some new faces, some veterans, some people who have won at the Crankworx World Tour plenty of times. So it's going to be a very exciting race.
So your new favorite rider segment was fun for the women. Let's do it again for the men. I'm going to put you on the spot, Alan. Who is, drumroll please, your new favorite rider? Who are you going to give a Valentine's to?
I'm going to give it to Luke Wayman. You know, he's a local boy. Second in Junior World Cup overall in the past. Looking at his stats here, 10th in Leo Gang. He finished 12th in Mont Saint Anne. So really a rider that I think is on the verge, but he also rides my favorite bike. If I had love for a bike, it would be the Atherton downhill bike that he rides. It is an unbelievable piece of machinery.
I'm going to go with Seth Stylie. I feel like as soon as I met a lifeguard named Bob Dunker, I started to think, hey, maybe somebody's name means something. Mike Spinner, wasn't he the first guy to do a 1080? His name's Spinner.
He was.
Seth Stylie is full of style. He's a great racer as well. He's had second at a dual slalom race in Cairns just a couple years ago. He's also placed second at the whip-off. And if you go follow him on Instagram, you'll see that he makes bike riding look good. So that's my new favorite rider. That's who I'm going to be rooting for out here in the men's category in the Redemption Downhill.
Yeah,
who's your new favorite rider? Tell us in the chat.
Yeah, definitely don't sleep on his Instagram. Stylie will make you want to get out and ride your bike no matter what.
For sure. That's what it works for me. I go online, see what Seth Stylie's up to. I go ride my bike. Let's check out. Let's just talk about the women's results a little bit. I feel like the fact that Sian A'Hern was sitting on that top step for so long was surprising to her more than anybody. And it maybe hints at maybe some surprises coming up for this men's field with the way this race is coming down to fitness so much. You know, that really throws a wrench in there. Some of those riders that just kind of rest on their talents are going to have to dig deep out here.
Well, yeah, you can't forget, though, we got Loic Bruni. Super Bruni. He's got the fitness, he's got the talent, he's got the team behind him, he's got the equipment. He is going to be one super hard person to beat out here today. But he didn't qualify fastest, did he?
All right, well, I think we got the women's results coming up right now, so we're going to be able to see how our new favorite riders went. Take a look, Alan.
Sabina Košárková, not letting me down. 4th place right there. I'm happy with that.
Well, look at that. We were right next door to each other there. Our two picks went 4 and 5. You beat me, though. Sabina was a couple seconds ahead of Kate Hastings, but guess what? It is a start to a long season, so we'll see how they do throughout the season.
Yeah, Kate Hastings, a solid start to her Crankworx World Tour out here at top 5. Her sister proud of her for sure.
Well, we got Eliana Hulsebosch just 2.5 seconds off the win there in 2nd place. We talk about how many fun things you can get up to here in Christchurch. Let's see what Eliana Hulsebosch and Tegan Cruz have been doing with their spare time here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch.
Yo, you made it to Christchurch.
Yeah, good to be here.
Let me show you around.
Let's do it.
Here you go, bro.
Oh, thank you.
You called that a jump?
Look at that. Wow.
I told you, best seat in town.
Yeah.
There's our first look at our men's start list for the Crankworx Redemption Downhill. And we're obviously going to be running these in reverse order from yesterday's seating as well. So you see big names jumping off the screen already. Tuhoto-Ariki Pene, a former king of Crankworx from New Zealand, with the 12th qualification time from yesterday's race. We've got Tegan Cruz on there. My man Seth Stylie qualified 14th. And look at that. Look at the top three. Let's talk about the top six for Crank. Your guy, Luke Wayman, in 7th. This page is full of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, don't sleep on Wayman. He's my guy. It's no accident. I saw that qualifying time right there behind some of the best that have ever done it.
I mean, we got former kings of Crankworx on that list. We've got world champion on that list. It's gonna be good. We're gonna heat it up, get faster and faster as we go. But don't be surprised if we have some curveballs thrown as well, because that was the case in the women's race. So Jackson Connelly kicking things off for the men.
Jackson Connelly on the pedals, keeping a low stance on the bike, trying to cut through the wind. Let's see how he comes through this first rock garden section. Keeping his momentum going pretty well. Ranked 34th in the world right here. That's a top ranking when you hear and see riders stressing out, making those top 30 cuts. He can do it consistently. Let's see how he battles through this section.
Jackson Connelly took 3rd in Cairns last year.
Nice little hop right there, keeping his momentum, avoiding one of the main holes in that turn. And that's such an important spot to be keeping your momentum, coming right into this painful motorway.
And you see he's 3.5 seconds ahead of the current leader. We are picking up action here with the top 15 qualified men. And 3.5 seconds ahead already is Jackson Connelly.
Jackson Connelly has gone through some adversity in his career, but he is here and laying it down, 3.5 up. Big shoulder surgery in 22. Fought Epstein-Barr, a bit of a fatigue syndrome, but he's made his way through all of it right here, and he is laying it down.
Is that a whistle or a human voice?
Looking really good right there, clearing all the way up and over, keeping that momentum going, accelerating up and over the hill.
Can't believe Mariah Carey came out here to cheer on these downhill racers.
She's a big downhill fan, you didn't know?
Never knew.
Coming in here, 3.5 up. Let's see where he ends up after that motorway section. We do know how important it is. So he loses 2.6 in that motorway section, 0.9, so he's got less than a second to his advantage coming into this bottom section where it's so important to catch those backsides exactly where you need to. Looking really good, clears the triple. It's a 50-foot triple jump right there into a bowl turn, and he gets it by 0.5 seconds.
Just squeaks through to knock Sloan out of that hot seat. Carter Sloan had been sitting there for a while.
Hey, like, well, not good, but not great.
How's the bottom?
I don't even know what to say.
I'll look back, Alan.
He couldn't even breathe down here at the bottom. This is why. Look how hard he gets on the pedals straight after this jump. You could tell he meant business right there. Getting pedals in where most people were just staying low and trying to pump. But, you know, he's fighting that wind. Going to give it everything he's got. There was that hop mid-rock garden, setting him up for that bowl turn at the bottom. Looking good through here on the on-off. Still had energy. Looking like training has paid off. His body's in a good shape coming into this 26 season. It's not going to get any harder than this. There's that triple, 50-foot triple into this bowl turn. Practically a curved wall ride. Pulling G-forces through there, and 0.5 seconds advantage right there for Jackson Connelly.
I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm like lightheaded.
Yeah, have a seat, buddy. Don't fall over.
I love hearing what they say at the bottom. We will have nobody say, oh, that was easy. I could have kept on riding.
Yeah, nobody. Not one person. He could barely stand up.
Well, we haven't talked much yet about who our #1 qualifier is. Alan, we got Luke Meier-Smith sitting in that #1 spot from seeding yesterday.
Yeah, Luke Sorry, not the defending champ Lachie won, but Luke Meier-Smith winning a World Cup in Lake Placid, having a solid season, really breaking through, kind of coming to fruition. But right now it's your man.
My guy. My new favorite rider right here, Seth Stylie. Let's see what he does. Like I mentioned before, he's taken second at a Crankworx slalom, but then he's taken second at a Crankworx whip-off. And man, don't dump all your energy out in the first straightaway, Seth.
Let's hope that's confidence in his fitness right now. He's putting it all down, not saving anything for the bottom. That could be a strategery move, or that could be a confidence in fitness. But here he goes. This rock garden gets so physical, practically doing push-ups all the way through this heckle section. So steep. He gets that little hop right there, stays smooth, a little bit of a chatter. He's down 2 seconds right now.
And based on what we've seen so far in this race, 2 seconds can mean a lot of different things. It does not necessarily count you out. This is a long track here. He's losing another second.
Sitting down right there, getting in the tuck. He might have burned that match a little too soon. The next split will tell us, but he's looking pretty poppy right there. He's catching those backsides. Just being smart, trying to sit down where he can. He knows what's ahead. And right here, it's all or nothing, leaving it all on the course. Your whole body gets tingly. Sometimes you go cold.
I mean, he still looks strong. He doesn't look like he's bogging out right here. Come on, Seth Stylie.
See if he can use that light, small stature to his advantage and carry that momentum through these lower sections right there. Still pedaling. It's a good sign. Oh, gets a little bit off right there. He's going to pay for that little bit of a miscue. His head's going to fall off. It's looking loose. He's almost there, though. Come on, Seth.
Can't wait to hear what he says at the bottom. Back by 2.7 now, actually pulling it in a bit.
And we've seen what this bottom section can do for a run. Let's see if Seth can pull it together. Still got his head down, still cranking. Catches good backside there, pops up on the triple. Looking clean around the final turn, even gets a pedal in. 7.5 seconds. To the red he goes behind Jackson Connelly.
Between that last split and the finish line, there is just so much pedaling.
I feel ya.
Goes into 6th place right there.
That was the slowest I've ever hit that. Yeah, same. I had to miss a jump or two, and then I like launched off the knuckle and landed flat. Hey.
You can almost hear the pain in their tone.
For the headwind, then you're so gassed when it comes to the pedal. Yeah, same.
These riders battling this redemption course right here. Seth Stylie looking very strong up top. Look at this aggression coming towards the step down. And that's why we heard from Jenna. The wind was really, really affecting these riders just past this step down. He was able to keep it smooth. A little bit of a swap right there in those bottom holes. Started to lose his rhythm in this motorway section, just absolutely taxing him for everything he's got. Look at some of those riders in the top 5 start list right there that just popped out. We have a lot of fast, fit riders to come.
Well, speaking of fast, fit riders yet to come, next rider to drop is going to be Joe Millington. Took 2nd at the New Zealand Enduro National Championships and a 5th at the Garbo DH just last year in Whistler. And if you know anything about the Garbanzo DH, that is very much an endurance downhill event. So Joe Millington could have what it takes right here to thrive on this course.
Also a top 5 in an Enduro World Cup. So Joe, no stranger to physicalities, 19 years old, out of Rotorua. A 4:41 for his qualifying time.
I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to say he's going to go in the hot seat. Let's just see what happens.
Oh, he's looking really clean so far right off the bat. Catching those backsides, conserving his energy. I like that so far.
That was smart.
dropping off into the Christchurch backdrop. Looking smooth through this rock garden, getting a pedal in, that's gonna pay dividends. It's the exit of this section that's so important for all of these riders. So carrying his momentum through these rough sections and tight turns will pay off.
I think what we're seeing with Joe right now is he's taking every opportunity to gain speed by pumping because he knows there's plenty of time left for pedaling once you get to the bottom.
Yeah, a little bit different line right there. He was able to cut the inside. He actually rode the ladder. I'm not sure which one's gonna be faster. He's 2.4 back in the upper section, but here he's on the motorway, 3.8 seconds back as he enters that section. This can make or break a run. That 3.4 or 3.8 is not something that's impossible to catch up, but it's gonna take fitness an enduro rider has, so I would say it's within his reach. Let's see what he can do. Staying super low out of the shark fin, getting all the way off the back of the bike, pumping that super mellow lip. Still pushing. This is a real telltale section of the course. Is he still jumping? Yes, he is. He has the momentum to clear the jumps. Can he keep it going towards the bottom? Head down, hips forward, up and over this climb. This is where we can see what people have left, this acceleration. Looking a little tired right there.
I trained hard. I trained hard. I swear I trained hard. Oh, he's still looking strong. Ooh, it's going to be a big sign of what's to come here if this split is in the green. Oh, he's still maintaining that around that 3.5 second gap there. Pulled it back a little bit by a little over a quarter second.
Staying low, staying smooth. This is where he needed to save those pedals for. He's got a little bit of track to leave it all on there. Coming around this final turn, let's see what the time is. 7.039 back. That's going to be 5th place for Joe Millington. A solid effort.
That's brutal, eh?
Yeah, it's brutal.
Hard run. That was a good run.
So similar to the women's field where we saw that first rider come down and do something special between the last split and the finish line.
Joe Millington looking solid up top, catching backside. And this is what I liked right here, pumping those backsides. A lot of times doing that can be faster than pedaling, but it does take full body energy. Nice one, Dago. Yeah, he looks solid through here off that shark fin and through the bottom. And this is where you started to see his weight going forward over the handlebars. His core was giving out. You lose that form, you lose the power of the pedal. And right there, I think he's just about gassed out. Clearing that triple jump into this curve wall ride-like final berm.
Jackson, it's a grueling one out there today. What's it like to be sitting in that hot seat and watch those last two riders come through in the red?
First of all, I'm surprised, to be honest. Like, it's such a gnarly track, this one. Obviously, we're meant to be racing a different track, which I thought I was coming here for some roots and some loam, but we're on full rocks, and that's pretty gnarly up top. But I really think the main focus should be the pedal, because that was nothing special. Like, I felt good, but the wind makes it so hard to ride. I guess it's the same for everybody. But this last motorway, it's like a minute of pedaling, and especially in this wind, you had to bury yourself early, and then it makes that last little climb super hard.
Well, good luck with the rest of the riders coming through. We've seen those last two come through and lose a lot at the last split, between the last split and the finish line. So you were doing something special up there. Way to go. We'll see how long it lasts.
Thank you. I didn't think that's how it was. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Sounds like he was surprised to hear that he was strong in that last split. Oh, baby, we got Tuhoto-Ariki Pene up here in the start gate, a former king of Crankworx. We're going to waste no time. We're going to get him right on the course.
Yeah, Tuhoto. He's got that national champ sleeve on his arm right there. He's really been picking it up over the last year. He's been killing it. Our 23 king. He's got a trail named after his royal ancestors in Rotorua, so super connected to the land, super connected to mountain biking. His father, a shuttle driver in the Rotorua Redwood Forest. He grew up there, Mountain biking is just as big a part of him as he is of mountain biking. Looking really solid right here.
Oh yeah, he's looking strong. Look at that line. Way riders left off a rock. It looked different than where we've seen everybody else go.
Yeah, he kind of jumped inside right there. So every little inch you can cut off this course is going to save a millisecond, and that's what these riders are racing for. Tuhoto is such a star here in New Zealand. I landed in the hotel, kicked my shoes off, and turned the TV on, and the first commercial was for him. It was him riding mountain bikes, eating yogurt. National star here in New Zealand, laying it down 2.2 back, heading into that motorway. But if anybody's got the power, it's going to be Tuhoto. Getting a nice little nose manual up right there. Staying smooth, some of those pump track skills that we've seen out of him.
Yeah, I mean, he took second in the pump track in his hometown of Rotorua just last year. Second in the downhill last year in Rotorua as well.
Clearing that jump right there, one of the first riders that we've seen not go around that lip. Let's see if it pays off.
It could. He's only 2.2 back.
See what the time is where he comes around to this next split.
Oh, yeah.
He's up, 1.2 right there.
I mean, in that section, just the ability to jump something instead of splat, lose all your speed, could be such a game changer. We saw him gain so much time here, but this bottom split, this bottom section is such a mystery so far today. There you go, he does it. Tuhoto goes into the lead.
1.3 seconds in the green, and all of that time and more was made up in that bottom section. So that just shows that heart that we know Tuhoto has, laying it all on the line, putting every ounce of effort he has. You can see how tired he is.
Yeah, Tuhoto.
Some casual misery he's in right now.
Can I have your gloves?
Tuhoto taking the lead. Look at the aggression, staying super low on those first step downs, pumping, staying low, cutting through the wind. You can see his knees bent. That is taxing on the legs. It turns every bump into a squat. And right there,
oh yeah,
the first rider we saw that made that jump did not go around the lip. And that was where he made up that time.
Did you see him pedaling up the lip? It was almost like a pedal kick trial style, or like blipping the throttle on a moto just to get up and over that. The amount of speed that can be carried from not having to backside that thing or go around the feature pays dividends.
Yeah, a bit of a gamble on Tuhoto's part, but paying off in dividends. One of the best things about Crankworx, the close proximity you can get from your heroes. Tuhoto barely catching his breath, hanging out with the kids.
Good guy for anybody to look up to as well. He's always got such a good attitude, such a strong work ethic. I'm always rooting for Tuhoto.
Riding on that New Zealand brand zeroed. Bit of a different setup.
All right, next up's going to be James McDermid. He's living in Rotorua these days. I love the thing you brought up earlier, Alan, about the Win Masters Privateer Award. Easy to root for him then, huh?
Yeah, easy to root for him. He was a privateer on the World Cup circuit. Win Masters likes to pinpoint those riders and benefit them. One of the winners right here, James McDermid, has a BMX background. He actually switched to mountain biking when he was 11 years old, moved himself and his family from Auckland to Rotorua to focus on mountain biking. And here he is in Christchurch, absolutely sending it. Getting a little loose right there.
Was that him saying hoo hoo?
I'm not sure. I would have been clinched if I was him. Looking solid. You can see the wind blowing right there. We talked about it. How hard that makes it to stay on line. Looking really smooth through that choppy section. Here's where we've seen a few different lines. Kept it clean.
I mean, watching that, it really shows how irregular the line that Tuhoto took was.
See that line off that first hip. He jumped super high, hoping to carry that momentum through the rest. It's like Daytona 500 coming off the banks. Coming off the high line, you're going to come off with more momentum.
Well, McDermott consistently 1.7 back at the first 2 splits.
Let's see what he's got in the tank right here. Looking good, catching those backsides, pumping those lips and landings.
Ooh, no pedal in there, just focusing on the pump, preserving the energy.
Let's see what he can do on the climb, where we saw Tuhoto make that step up and gain that advantage. Here it comes. There's even wood on that lip. It's just really soft. He's going to go for it. Can he make it? Yes, super clean right there. Able to accelerate out of it. That might have been the fastest we've seen that section. Can he make up that 1.7 that he's back on the previous split?
It was interesting. When we interviewed Jackson Connelly, he said, well, I thought I was going to be training for a completely different race, but with this reroute, it's turned into a pedal fest here. Ooh, losing some 3.4 back now.
Yeah, James bleeding a little bit more time to Tuhoto-Ariki Pene's time. Looking really clean though. Getting that triple jump in. Looking solid, but not enough to overtake Tuhoto's time of 4:36.9.
Bro, I got blown out the start gate. Oh, that was gnarly. Good shit, Tuhoto.
Yeah, I love it. They all trade war stories down there at the bottom. Nobody has just an uneventful, smooth run in this race here today. It's in Connelly, as we still have a whole host of fast riders yet to go. George Madley, Tegan Cruz will be the next 2 riders to drop. And as we work our way through this start list, we're gonna heat things up. The final 5 riders will be Finn Iles, Ryan Gilchrist, Loic Bruni, Lachie Stevens-McNab, your defending champion, and then your #1 qualifier, Luke Meier-Smith. So a lot of bullets for Tuhoto to dodge here before this thing is done and dusted. Who will take the win? We will find out at some point. Who's gonna win a t-shirt? It's gonna be one of you viewing the race here today on the Crankworx YouTube channel. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the Crankworx YouTube channel, and conversate with us in the chat box. And we're gonna take one of you participates in the chat, and we're gonna mail you a t-shirt. It could be a local, we may not have to mail it, but this is what the t-shirt looks like right here. We've always got unique artwork for every stop in the Crankworx World Tour, kind of similar to, like, you know, rock and roll band's World Tour. You got a different poster and different shirt for every stop. This one's got a Kiwi riding a bike. I feel like it's appropriate.
I do like this one. It might be one of my favorites.
So we're not going to give it away. We're going to give it to Alan. Here you go. Just kidding. You can have this t-shirt. Just give us something that might make us chuckle in the chat box. Funniest comment gets a t-shirt. Alan, I don't feel like Tuhoto was sweating it too much. I felt like he's still strong here. It didn't take him that long to catch his breath. He might be sitting there for a bit.
Tuhoto's always cool as ice. You kidding me?
But look, he's trying to peek over and see results. You looking for results? Oh, sick. Here we go. We got the screen.
Yeah, come on in,
for
bro.
you.
Come on in.
Hey, we got this microphone anytime you got something to say, too. So just holler at me. I'll put it right here. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Tuhoto's the 3rd member of our team now. Why not? We're going to have him interview the people who don't knock him out of the hot seat. How's that sound? Hey, are you curious who's coming up next, Tuhoto?
Yeah, who's coming up?
All right, so you just went. No, we had James McDermott. Now we got George Madley coming up next. And then Tegan.
Oh, the boys.
Oh!
The boys.
You've battled with Tegan plenty of times.
Yeah, he goes hard.
He goes hard. Tegan's the series champion from last year. Yeah,
Really?
did you know that? Yeah.
No, I didn't even know.
He was 3rd here last year.
Shit.
Is he going to knock you out of the hot seat today? No. It's a gentleman's game out here. All right, this is going to be George Madley repping that Atherton Bikes rig, your favorite bike, Alan, for good reason.
Absolutely, absolutely. George Madley doing it for the British, making them proud. Super decorated youth rider, 3-time national champ in the youth categories, also in the junior category. So you know there's some fast riders coming out of the UK. Looking really, really good right there. What has he got? So technical. Looks like he's getting pretty good set of the wind right there. You can see the tape looking a little mellow, but just as I say that, it looks like it picks up. Crowd going sick for George, sending it, gonna give it everything he's got.
Oh, he's close, Toto.
Yeah, he's looking smooth right there, only 1.1 back. What can George do? Smaller rider right there, so it's gonna be a little more work for him to carry that momentum. 1.6.
Did you see how far he went on that?
He's within touch. Yeah, some of those riders are going far and high and trying to get some of that momentum by swooping down, using gravity to propel them through this headwind motorway section, getting an inside off of the shark fin right there, all the way up and over, catches this double. We've seen a few riders have a hard time there. This is where it's gonna make the difference. 1.6 back before this. Kind of facing that one right there. You're gonna feel every mistake times 10 from here on. Still has the momentum up and over. He's clearing, he's making the backsides. This hill climb right here, step up, is gonna tell us the story. Big pull right there, comes up just a little short. So that's gonna make this effort feel even more painful. Head down pedaling, George is looking strong. You see a fan right there chasing him down. What is this, the Tour de France? It's about as physical as the Tour de France.
We can only really gauge on what we see. We saw a couple backside slaps there, and he sets himself back even more. He's 5.1 back now as Tuhoto's smile increases.
Yeah, Tuhoto feeling comfortable right now in that spot. But George Madley's gonna be sending it, everything he's got. Clears the triple smooth, cuts that inside just a little bit, but 7.23 seconds behind Tuhoto's time.
Yeah, bro. Wait, do you want a shrimp? Have your plate, please.
How was it, bro?
Oh, the wind was insane. Out the gate, I was like almost blown off all over the place and oversteer at the top. I don't know if you see it, but that was insane winds.
Hard pedal, eh?
I had nothing left at the bottom.
I didn't even know if this is on. I'm gonna save them for that.
Is the stick mic working? Hello? Hello?
Test, 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 1, 2. All right, we're back. I think Tuhoto just hijacked our whole system, or else it was just a coincidence, but we're back after a little microphone faux pas here. Tuhoto's still in the hot seat. We're gonna just like freestyle this one and induct him as the third member of our team. I kind of like having him interview the riders as they come through the finish line. Let's see who we have up in the gate right now. This should be Tegan Cruz, and it is. Tegan Cruz has been down here in New Zealand for a bit, getting things rolling before this first big race of the year. He took third place here last year, and he's on course right now. Tegan Cruz, the 2025 Crankworx Downhill Series winner, drops into the 2026 Redemption Downhill.
Yeah, I'm expecting big things out of Tegan Cruz this year. A lot of big, notable second places. Second in the overall King last year, our DH overall though. Third here last year, so he knows what it takes to stay on this podium. It's a different track, but anywhere you go where you've been on a podium, it carries an extra level of enthusiasm and confidence. Let's see what he can do to make that work for him. Tegan looking super smooth through that rock garden. We've got some clouds coming in. The weather is changing here. Is it going to be enough? There he goes, super far and high on there, carrying that momentum.
So Tegan taking silver in the air DH just 2 days ago here in Christchurch, kicking his season off exactly where he left it last year in 2025. He won Silver Star last year as well. Now Silver Star joining the World Tour for 2026. The BC boy has been climbing the ranks for the past few seasons. He and his brother.
Also the winner of a new category, hard MTB, getting that step up right there. Tegan Cruz is a bit of the archetype for what it takes to be a Crankworx champion. He can ride everything, and he rides it so well.
Only 1.8 back, and we've seen crazier things today than somebody clawing back from a 1.8 disadvantage here. Coming in from all over the world. Bright and squirrely in some time zones, 5 a.m. Thanks for waking up early. Tegan Cruz crosses the line just under 5 seconds slower than Tuhoto-Ariki Pene. Way to go, Tuhoto. That's a big bullet to dodge right there, old Teagster.
Yeah, absolutely. Tegan knowing what it takes, being on the podium here last year, trying to leave everything out on the course. You can see, you can feel the pain. Look at his face right now. Such a good early season test for these athletes out here in Christchurch.
Well, the kids are usually asking for gloves and goggles. They're asking for the plates now.
Looking back at Tegan's run, started off absolutely rapid, going through that section, getting an extra pedal in right before the step down, getting that inside line that Cam spotted out from a previous run, and didn't do anything wrong down here. Little bit of a miscue maybe on that step up, but he cleared it straight back on the pedals. Nothing stands out. Tuhoto was just too strong. It's gonna be hard to out, like be like hard-headed and out like just grit Tuhoto today.
Exactly. In a grit off, Tuhoto is always going to be a formidable opponent. Next rider loading into the gate right now is going to be Zac Bradley. Took third at the Australian Open of Downhill behind a couple big names.
Yeah, Troy Brosnan and still to come, Luke Meier-Smith. A couple of fast riders to come just behind.
Luke Meier-Smith being the #1 rider from seeding yesterday. So he will be the final rider to drop. So that little reminder on screen a minute ago, we've got slopestyle action coming your way tomorrow. Set your alarm. Zac Bradley on course.
Young rider, only 18 years old out here. Looking really smooth here so far, pumping, trying to get every ounce of momentum on those little bumps. You can't just ride through them. You got to be active, a little bit heavy on the front right there.
I thought he was getting caught, but he muscled through it.
Yeah, every push-up he did just paid off on that one.
Do your push-ups, kids.
Do your push-ups. That's how you don't cartwheel in the rock garden.
Do some right now.
Looking pretty good. Nothing stands out as slowing him down, but nothing stands out as magical. He's going to have to lay it down right here.
Oh, he's so close, just 0.06 of a second off the lead.
It's going to come down to fitness here. He is out of the tree and rock section, styling it out right there, looking like he's carrying his momentum.
Look at that, 6 seconds faster now. Or sorry, 0.6 of a second faster now.
Yeah, 0.6 faster. Can he carry that momentum through this section? He's on fast, off fast, cutting that shark fin just a little bit. He's looking strong. pedaling where he needs to, pumping where he needs to, catching those backsides. I think this is looking good. Can he carry that momentum out of the rock garden across this full motorway, still clearing the jumps, getting that front end down. Zac Bradley looking clean so far. Up and over that step up we've seen. A little bit of a stall out on that landing, but nothing major.
Time to beat a 4:36. Got another 30 seconds of pedaling here to do it.
You see him take about a half pedal rest right there. Let's see what that does down at the bottom. Everything you leave at this point is going to compound. If you rest an inch, it's going to be 10 feet at the finish.
Oh, he's extended that lead now to 1.7. Tuhoto's distracting himself with conversation.
Catching that backside. Looking really good. Zac Bradley clearing that triple.
I don't know.
Rounding around this final turn. Does he have it? By 0.8.
Wow.
Zac Bradley dethrones Tuhoto-Ariki Pene out of the hot seat. What a run right there out of Zac Bradley.
That was so close right there. Less than a second separating.
Little smile out of him right there. He's got no energy left, can barely even get the helmet off his head. Starving for air. Let's take a look back and see where the highlights were. Going to the outside right there on that first jump. He chose not to do the step down. Getting extra pump off of the ground there. Looks solid sliding into there. A little bit out of control style, but you know what Harry Hogg says, loose is fast and on the edge of control. Robert Duvall, RIP. Little shout out. Coming around right there and just beating that time by 0.6 of Tuhoto.
I was thinking about it. Every single section of this course we see, nothing looks chill. They're the opposite of chill on opposite ends of the spectrum of non-chill. There's the most tech rock sections, the most grueling pedaling sections. There's no chill.
Yeah, Zac's got to be stoked to come out and put in a good run like that.
Yes, please.
Zac Bradley, the man to beat now, posting that 4:36.
Look, Wayman's good. Look, Wayman's good.
Ooh, your guy's up next, Alan. Your new favorite rider.
My new favorite, local boy, Luke. Had a strong finish here last year, 6th place. You know he knows this track. Broke into that top 10 on the World Cup last season in Leogang.
You gotta believe the hometown fans are gonna be getting loud for Luke Wayman right now. Christchurch boy on course.
Yeah, Luke Wayman looking really, really confident, scrubbing that step down. Really light on the brakes through here. Looking very, very consistent with his speed. He's not speeding up, slowing down, jabbing on the brakes. That's what's gonna take to really conserve the energy that he's gonna need to lay down on that motorway. Riding that beautiful Atherton bike right there. And did you see that gap on the inside? That was really, really smooth, catching the backside and pumping into that lower left-hand turn. Can he carry that momentum through this section? No.
Ooh, losing
Comes
some.
back just a little bit, 0.5 off. It's in touch. It's all gonna be down to the amount of aggression and power he can lay down on this lower section. We saw Zac Bradley look absolutely clean through here. A slight tag right there out of Luke. Like I said, it could be an inch in the moment, but that's 10 feet down at the bottom.
Especially when you're just a half a second back. You're within touch, but a tag can pull you back more.
Luke, a force to be reckoned with on the International Series, just 0.5 back. Gets up that step up, head straight down, back on the pedals. Is it gonna be enough? He looks pretty strong, shifted up right there, so he wants more out of it. Is it gonna be enough? Will his power offer the momentum needed to get over these final jumps and push all the way through to the finish? 1.6 back now, so it's not looking super good for Wayman, but we've seen magical things happen in this bottom section. A little bit of an air pedal right there, Blenkinsop style. Getting the triple clean. 1.5, not gonna be enough, but he does go into third place.
Tuhoto holding on to that second spot as the 436 of Zac Bradley is unthreatened by Wayman. Endless Media joining the chat saying this is the type of racing you dream to see in person. And we got some very enthusiastic spectators out here today doing exactly that. We got 6 riders left to go, and it looks like this: Blenkinsop, Finn Iles, Ryan Gilchrist, Loic Bruni, Lachie Stevens-McNab, your defending champion, and Luke Meier-Smith, your #1 rider from seeding. Yeah, things are heating up, safe to say. Zac Bradley secures himself at least a few more minutes in that hot seat. These kids are relentless. They want goggles, they want gloves, they want number plates. They're going to take no prisoners, but they're going to take all the gloves. Sam Blenkinsop, 2018 King of Crankworx. This guy has done it all in his career. He won the Air DH 2 days ago out here in Christchurch.
Posted on Instagram, first gold in 3 years. Sam Blenkinsop, no stranger to winning hardware here at Crankworx, a former king and winner of several events. One of the riders that have the ability to unseat Tuhoto out here, and you know he would love to do it.
We're talking about a true veteran of the sport of downhill racing here. I was hanging out with my buddy Dr. Ewan Spirits the other day in Queenstown. We were watching the old Clay Porter downhill movies between the tape, 3-minute gaps, and seeing a young Sam Blenkinsop rising to the top. And now to see him out here still doing it is nothing short of incredible. You can never count this guy out. Obviously taking the win in Air DH just 2 days ago. He's always been a fit rider, so he could do well here, but back by 6.6. at split #1.
6.6 is a big gap, but if anybody can pull that back, it's going to be Blenky. Oh, we see 10 seconds there, so possibly a mistake off camera. But yeah, as you were saying, Blenky, one of the fittest riders out here, doing it for over 2 decades. Such smooth style, that never say die attitude. Look at the power and skill, pedaling and pumping at the same time. That was really, really cool to see. Not giving up. How much time do you think he's going to pull back in the motorway?
I was going to say I would not be surprised to see that 10 decrease a bit before he's through the finish line. Just knowing how fit he is.
Look at the power right there.
Yeah, he's not just keeping the crank spinning, he's actually driving so much torque into those crank arms.
Yeah, to see acceleration this late in the stage is pretty unbelievable.
Oh, he's lost a bit more.
Blenky coming down. Some of the best style in all of mountain biking.
He pulled it back by 2 seconds, still going 8 seconds slower than the lead. Zac Bradley holding on to that top spot.
I think he probably loved that pain more than anybody out there.
Yeah. Ooh, that was fun. Let's go up for another one.
Kids are going off down here in the corral. Sam Blenkinsop also choosing to take that rider's right line, avoiding that first step down. So something there maybe Blenkinsop knows that we don't. Looking clean. I think he probably knows a lot I don't when it comes to riding a mountain bike. And this is what I saw right here. You see how he was pedaling and really working over those rollers? So creating momentum in 2 different ways right there. It's subtle, but
are those bars looking wide to you? Those look like pretty wide bars.
I don't have my calipers out. I can't tell from here. We'll call them 790s.
Maybe we could ask him. I'm going 8'10". There's no way they're that big.
There's no way.
I'm just making this, you know, a more exciting.
Where's that kid's mother?
Wager. What did they ask for?
I don't know. Too many things.
They want everything. It is not Halloween, y'all. Start giving them Red Bulls and see what happens. Take a look at the start list, Alan. Look who we have next. Good to see him out here.
Yeah, stoked to see Finn Iles back out at Crankworx, getting his season started off right. One of the riders we first heard of Finn Iles due to Crankworx. There was that campaign, Let Finn In, and that was let him into the whip-off world champs before he was old enough to compete. Well, social media got him in and he won.
Yeah, and then he continued to rack up junior overall championships in 2016 and 2017. Then he's been successful in elites as well.
Yeah, many times top 5 overall in the World Cup, winning at his home race in Mont Saint-Anne a couple of years ago. Been battling some early season injuries the last couple of years, not able to get on his program to the level he needed by the time the season started, but he's looking really strong right here, and I'm excited to see what he can do in 26.
The 2-time Canadian downhill national champion back at Crankworx and looking as aggressive as ever. 4 seconds ahead at split number 1.
Did you see the speed he had on that inside rock gap? Just absolutely able to carry that around the outside. Looking smooth right there.
Extending the lead by another 0.3. I am definitely looking forward to the replay of that rock garden after this run.
Yeah, Finn absolutely has the power. You see him ducking the wind right there, saving energy for when he needs to pedal. Pumping. There now he's getting on those pedals. 4.3 up when he entered the motorway. Let's see how much he can take off of this time.
Nice nose press.
Still time for Steez when you're Finn Iles. Gapping all the way down in, up this step up. Looking smooth right there. That was a smooth re-entry. You want to land as soft as possible.
Yeah, that tells you something how easily he was able to make it to the top of that step up. The time to beat is a 4:36. Finn Iles faster by 4.3. The last time we saw a split. Look at this, he's lost a little bit, but he's still up by 3.4.
Up by 3.4, he's definitely in touch by this point in time. Zac Bradley shaking in his boots a little bit. Finn, this is the triple right there, able to maintain composure.
Comes through 5 seconds faster. Finn Iles takes over the hot seat. Wow.
How was he able to just blast through that third landing of the triple like it wasn't even there?
What a beast. He found 2 seconds down there at the bottom. Oh yeah, it's good to see Finn Iles looking strong and on pace, setting the bar.
Absolutely unleashing the power down at the bottom. Off the top right here, you can see how aggressive he is. His weight is so far over the front end. It's more risky, but you're going faster. That was a big change in Supercross when Jeremy McGrath started leaning forward and landing front wheel. So committed through the rock garden. Finn Iles and able to extend through here. We got some fast riders coming. 4 more riders. Finn Iles setting the benchmark. Looking good in that new Alpine Star kit for the S-Gravity team. And this right here cases that triple and just goes right through it. His bike is set up so perfect, it did not even upset him.
What up, Finn? Here's a microphone. Congrats on moving into that hot seat.
Thank you.
That was an impressive run right there. What do you think was the difference maker there? Did you have some unique lines up top, or was it just pure endurance and the ability to sprint?
Man, it was savage. It was like one of the hardest race runs I've ever done. I think like to have that 1 minute 20 sprint at the bottom is just crazy. It's so difficult. You already come into that with your like lactate screaming, and then you just got to hammer. At the top, I think there's not enough line choice to do anything crazy. Like, I think this race for me was just focusing on the process of like getting back into the rhythm of racing and trying to find my speed. And I felt like at the top I did a really good job of that, but at the bottom I was just cooked.
What's the offseason been like? You're looking really strong.
Thank you. Just a lot of rehab in the early part of the offseason because I was just recovering from an injury, and then the last bit has just been a lot of time on the downhill bike, like a big load on the downhill bike to try and just do as many runs as I possibly can. Last year I feel like I missed out a lot on that with injury, and happy to be here, happy to be back at Crankworx. New Zealand is the best. Everyone here is pretty awesome. The kids are stoked, and we'll see what the result is today, but honestly I'm just happy to be back between the tape and starting to get my feet back underneath me because this track is brutal. We'll see what Gilly can do because honestly this guy on the pedals is such a machine.
True.
So if I don't have like more than 3 seconds on him, I think that my goose might be cooked.
Yeah, it's great to have you back at Crankworx, Finn. Way to go.
Well, speaking of Gilchrist, he is on course right now.
He wants to cook that goose.
He absolutely does. Gilchrist, Mr. Crankworx, two-time and reigning king of Crankworx right here. Listen to that crowd pumping down that ladder, looking really smooth. A different line than Finn, but making it work, and this is where Finn was concerned. So he's got 4.9 seconds to make up on this motorway. He can pedal like an animal, but I don't know if he can pull 4.9 seconds on Finn Iles. Let's see what he can do.
Well, you heard what Finn just said. Is he said, you know what, Gilly is a beast. If I don't have at least 3 seconds on him, then he'll get me. Ryan Gilchrist, 4.9 seconds behind Finn Iles at the last split that we saw.
Look at Gilchrist power through that section. A magic man on all disciplines. Has a pump track win already this weekend. Most intense rider I've seen, putting it all to work right here. What has he done?
That looked easy.
What has he done to that 4.9 deficit?
Yeah, I mean, Finn definitely aware of the inhuman fitness of one Ryan Gilchrist. Hey, kid, watch out.
Jeez. Gilchrist not even blinking, so he brings back a little bit, but not enough to go green. Oh, gets a back tire roll right there, a different line. Something that's gonna gain him a little more momentum.
Last night's pump track winner putting those skills to use.
Looking so smooth down at the bottom.
Ryan Gilchrist crosses the line, 4.9 seconds behind Finn Iles. Just going to show how strong Finn is right now.
So Gilchrist not able to make up time in that motorway section. Finn is fit and ready for the season, remaining in that hot seat with a time of 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
So Gilchrist into second place. As we take a look at who's next on our start list, it's going to be Loic Bruni, but before that, let's go back to the replay from Gilly. Wow, did you see that? He almost like nose pressed those bumps.
Yeah, he was trying to get creative, get light over those first little bit of bumps, and he looked like he skipped across him on that front wheel. We were still in interview at that point, so we missed it. Right there, pumping off that ladder, using those knees and hips to absorb those bumps.
MTB Garage weighing in, saying these riders are sending it. I agree. Things are heating up now with just 3 riders left to go.
Gilchrist looking absolutely smooth through here. Yes, how easy was that step up for him?
And we've been sitting here watching enough riders to know that it is not easy. I love the manual there from our pump track winner from last night.
Tarps off on the sidelines, fans going nuts for Gilchrist as he comes around.
If you can go 4 seconds faster than Ryan Gilchrist on a track like this, on a day like today with a headwind, there's something to be said for that. Will the time of 4:30.9 from Finn Iles hold up through our last three riders, Loic Bruni, Lachie Stevens-McNab, your defending champion from the Redemption downhill last year, and Luke Meier-Smith.
Fans stand pumped out here. It's getting cold, but this race is winding down. Nobody wants to miss what's yet to come. We have some of the fastest riders on the planet standing at the top of this Redemption downhill, ready to unleash.
Yeah, nobody's going anywhere with this guy in the start gate. The 5-time world champion, 4-time World Cup overall series champion, and back to Crankworx, Loic Bruni on course.
Loic Bruni also taking that lower line, so something there pumping, using momentum. Such a smart rider, one of the smartest riders on the circuit. Looking clean right there. His bike's so stable. Look at his head and his shoulders. They don't deviate from his entry. They stay pointed directly where his front tire needs to go. So much development into this bike.
Well, nobody knows more about the pace of Finn Iles than his teammate and close friend, Loic Bruni. So to hear that Finn is in the hot seat, it's going to give him some information. Look at that line.
Yeah, nice gap right there into the section.
Oh, it's close.
So he's 0.8 down right there. Let's see what this recent family man can do. Had a baby over the off season, spent a lot of time at home. It's going to use that to his advantage. If anybody is mentally strong, it is Loic Bruni, and everything that happens in his life is going to be an advantage. It's all how you look at it. What can he do through here in this motorway section to make up this 0.8 of a second on his teammate?
I mean, that's close. Within a second here, nice manual.
These riders with electronic suspension on their bikes, able to stiffen them up and get more out of this terrain.
Oh, that would be such an advantage here on this track. Ooh,
little bit of a rough landing right there. Look at the size of those quads, tree trunks just pumping like pistons from a train.
What is this next split going to say here? Loic Bruni hard on the pedals. Oh, Loic back by 1.6.
So Finn extending slightly, but Loic is not done on this course. Staying super low and composed right there. Catching backside pumping, clean on the triple.
Oh, the time to beat was a 4:30. Loic is not going to do it, back by 1.18. Super Bruni's back, it's great to see, but he slots into second.
Oh, the sprint. Yeah. So hard.
Finn says, how bad was that?
What'd you smoke me? I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. I'm sitting here and I'm waiting and nothing's coming up.
1.1. Finn, 1.1. You're ahead by one. Yeah. Oh, no splits. Yeah.
Loic Bruni looking so clean right through there. Look at the spectators jumping out of the way like it's an old Group B rally. Laying that power down, but not enough to beat Finn Iles. We're gonna get a quick chat here. Let him catch his breath.
Loic, it is great to have you. What's it like being back at Crankworx after a few years of being here?
It's amazing. It's been a long time for sure. 3 years since Rotorua. This track is gnarlier for sure. I was trying to find the flow, but physically I was fully giving all I had. And I don't think it was enough. It was so windy. Trying to fight the wind. It was a really challenging course, and it's dinner time. So you know, it's like hard to manage, but I'm happy I made it in one piece. Quite flowy, good riding, stoked.
Great to have you back. Go get some dinner.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See you, bro.
Well, our final three riders, something with the letter L here, Loic, Lachie, and Luke. Lachie is locked and loaded in the gate, your defending champion from the Redemption downhill. Just a year ago, the 2025 gold medalist from Rotorua, New Zealand. representing the new guard of downhill talent. Here we go, Lachie on course.
So he takes that step down, a little bit rougher entry. Lachie knows what it takes to win multiple podiums. A bronze medal winner in the junior category at World Champs. 3-time world champ in BMX, so an all-around rider. Looks like he's pacing himself a little bit. I do like that. Man, look at that paint job. Looking good coming down the hill. Wind is blowing. So hard not to override this section. Lachie taking that inside line, really smooth through there. We've talked about how important that section is. 1.3 up, heading into the motorway, but we know Finn absolutely slayed it through this section.
Oh, he's looking so fast.
He's got to stay absolutely tight in the core, cut the wind, stay behind the bars, get on the pedals, pump those backsides.
Having enough speed to take off low on that shark fin and still make it to the landing says that he's carrying good pace here.
Taking everything into account, shortening the course as much as he possibly can. 1.3 up, entering this section. He gets up the step up quite clean, accelerating through.
The time to beat from Finn Iles, a 4:30.9.
See what he's got left in the tank as he makes his way closer to this finish line.
Dirt Feed knows what's up. Oh, he's extended. 2.1 faster now. Finn takes his seat. He was looking over our shoulders at the screen.
Lachie looking good, coming into the triple, cuts it inside.
Oh,
that's a little bit sketchy. Is it going to be enough?
Oh, he goes faster by 3.9. Lachie Stevens-McNab takes over the hot seat. Wow, 4:26.9.
So he made some magic happen in that final sector. There's something to be had in this Christchurch Redemption downhill course that we haven't seen. Sian A'Hern doing the same thing. Yeah, you're not the first person to say it.
Yeah, that's been the general sentiment.
Did you see how far riders left he went out of the gate? Got a little bit of a pedal and maybe avoided some of those bumps. So strategic on the way down this course. Absolutely flying on that inside line, railing that turn. You called it out right there. Cutting the inside of that shark fin jump right there, shortening the course just by a couple of feet, but able to carry that little slight advantage all the way down through the bottom. Getting a little sketchy right here. Probably couldn't feel his body from his neck down, but making it happen.
Lachie, you won here last year. You won in Rotorua last year. You got one more bullet to dodge here. What do you think we're going to expect here from Loic Meier-Smith, the final rider to drop?
Loic Meier-Smith's a beast, so I emptied myself on that sprint, but yeah, he's a beast, so we'll see, eh? We'll wait for 4.5 minutes or whatever it is, and we'll see.
Well, go get your seat. By the time you catch your breath, he's going to be at that finish line. You did your job. Now all we got to do is watch. Cheers. Ooh, this is going to be fun, Alan. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, talking about Loic Meier-Smith being a beast. We saw him warming up down here, almost bursting out of his racing suit, looking like a specimen of a human being.
I like what Lachie said. He just took a breath, took a minute to think about it and say, well, Loic Meier-Smith is a beast.
Yeah, it's got to be so good mentally for these riders knowing this is the hardest race of the season. They've already said this is the hardest track they're going to race, getting it done in February. But it's up to Loic Meier-Smith right here, looking really clean. Another cheeky line out of the gate, pulling a little manual. And look at the power he's already putting down, pumping so hard. Coming in hot into this first rock section. Look at the rear end of the bike, dancing around, definitely on the edge of control, but keeping that front end going where it needs to go.
The last rider with an opportunity to win here today, the 3-time Australian national downhill champion. He took a World Cup win last season at Lake Placid. Luke Meier-Smith, can he do it?
Luke Meier-Smith has fitness. He's won a World Cup enduro race before in Medina, so we know he's got the power. Luke is wild fit. Let's see what he can do.
He is faster by 1.5 seconds.
Look at his technique right here, pedaling between the jumps, making sure he's catching the backsides, railing that turn right there, slingshot out of the berm, getting every ounce of pedaling he can, back tire roll, pumping through and pedaling. Look how fast he's going right there. I think this is going to be an extension on this lead, if what I'm seeing is telling me the truth.
Let's see, the time to beat a 4:26.9.
Oh, he compressed a little bit into that lip, but looks clean so far. You can tell he is numb from the neck down, just going through by feeling. Hits that 4-minute mark. He's back into screen right now, still on the pedals. How are these riders doing a 1:20 sprint after 3 minutes of downhill, and he's up 3.1 in the lead. Coming through this final section, it is so important to stay smooth and focused. Gets the triple, rails the turn, and comes across. What's it gonna be, Cam?
Luke Meier-Smith does it by over 3 seconds, taking the win.
Look at what that means to Luke Meier-Smith. It's emotional to put that big of an effort in, and when it pays off, it just comes flowing out of you. That is why these riders are competing right there. Such a cool moment.
What a race.
Yes, boy is right. Such a physical race. You can see it in their eyes. Almost every one of these riders said this is the hardest track that they're going to race all year. And to come out ahead for Luke Meier-Smith is the momentum he needs to carry him through another solid season.
To smash that time by over 3 seconds is so impressive. All the lead changes we had in the last handful of riders.
Look at that.
What a race.
So subtle out of the gate. He pulled up off the starting hill over the first couple of bumps. So important. Every little thing that needed to be done, Luke did it absolutely to perfection. Not getting too tricky in there, but just staying smooth, straight down the middle. Main line with confidence, as they say.
Way to go.
Still catching his breath behind us. Not even sure if he knows what planet he's on. Coming around here to the finish, staying smooth. Lachie knew it was going to be hard to beat.
Luke Meier-Smith, we didn't know who was going to win here today. All we knew is you were the fastest rider in seating, and we also knew that whoever does win this race will have earned it. What was it like earning that one today?
Yeah, man, that was really tough. Legs felt like they had nothing at the end. I was just pedaling as hard as I could. Yeah, really easy to like sort of overdo the intensity at the top and then just be gassed to that bottom bit. But I feel like I managed it pretty well and just had enough at the end to keep pedaling. But yeah, definitely a super tough race course.
What does this do for your confidence knowing that this might be the hardest race of the year? It's kind of the full package. It's got the technicality, it's got the physicality, and you're coming out on top. That's got to be a boost.
Yeah, for sure. I think like I've always known that like physicality is my strength. So hoping for a few more races like this in the future. It's a bit similar to like Lake Placid, the World Cup I won. So yeah, bring on more pedaling.
Yeah, he likes the pain.
Well, congratulations. This one was well earned here. The winner of our Redemption Downhill 2026 here in Christchurch, Luke Meier-Smith. Way to go, man.
Unbelievable performance, my man.
Thank you. Oh, God.
Go soak it up. What a race, Alan. Come on, down to the wire. We had Zac Bradley, then Finn Iles knocked him out, and then Lachie Stevens-McNab. He knew it might not be enough, knowing how strong Luke Meier-Smith is, and your #1 rider from seeding does it. Smashing the time of 4:23.8 on this treacherously long Redemption downhill course. Here's our final results.
Yeah, every rider said it doesn't get harder than this. And look at some of those new faces. Zac Bradley killing it, coming in 6th place. Spent some time on that hot seat. And my boy, Luke Wayman, 8th place. What a finish.
The downhill series for the Crankworx World Tour. Take a look back at our top 3 riders today.
Yeah, Finn Iles coming in 3rd place. Real stoked to see him back on his top form. Coming out here, laying it all down, feeling good physically and technically.
And then your defending champion, Lachie Stevens-McNab, answered back.
Yeah, he absolutely dominated up top. He knew what was coming behind him and left it all out on the course. But nobody was strong enough mentally, physically, or technically to outdo Luke Meier-Smith today.
Well, Luke Meier-Smith is your winner in the men's category for Redemption Downhill here in Christchurch for 2026. And our winner of this nice piece of Crankworx merch that you can only get, 2 ways. You can either be here and purchase it from the merch tent, or you can comment on the Crankworx YouTube chat box. Old Man MTB, congratulations. We are going to get this shirt packaged up into a box. Unless I can throw it far enough to wherever you live. Oh, baby, we're going to need a little assistance. Clean up on aisle 3. Thank you very much. We're back. That's going to you, Old Man MTB. Congratulations on the win. And congratulations to Luke Meier-Smith on grabbing that win. We're in it, man. We're in it. We got another big show tomorrow as well.
Yeah, this was the start of the tour for us, and I'm stoked to have done it on downhill. That was my first downhill broadcast. Man, the riders did not let me down. That was exciting.
Well, king and queen of Crankworx standings right now, with more points being delivered from today's downhill race. Ryan Gilchrist, the last 2 years, he's been the king. He's picking up right where he left off now, leading out the 2026 season by a clean 200 points with those 2 wins in the last couple days.
Yeah, Tegan Cruz not too far behind. There's a lot of points to be had. It's going to be a long season. Coming over here to the women, Jenna Hastings absolutely extending her lead with a win today over Sabina Košárková, our last night's pump track winner. So you see these riders going back and forth on discipline to discipline, but it's a long season.
And you know what? We still have more action here from Ōtautahi Christchurch. Tomorrow, it's slopestyle. We're kicking off the Slopestyle Super League, which is a new format for the 2026 season. We got a whole host of gold and diamond events, a little bit of a shake-up to the format for tomorrow as well, which will be fun and interesting. And the season has kicked off, man. One thing we're going to do tomorrow after slopestyle is we're going to get on our bikes, we're going to put them on the chairlift, and we're going to ride Christchurch Adventure Park. And this is what we're looking forward to see here. This is a trail called Ozone, and it looks like a blast. Look at the size of the jumps on this trail. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man, I just got even more excited for tomorrow.
Well, we have a lot to look forward to tomorrow with slopestyle and to get ourselves up on this mountain. And we have a bunch to look forward to continuing into the rest of the year right now. We got 5 stops on this 2026 Crankworx World Tour. 2 in New Zealand, here in Christchurch, then Rotorua in just 2 weeks. Then we'll go to Whistler, then Silver Star, and then we'll finish things up on the east side of Canada, Mont Saint Anne, Quebec, September 3rd through the 7th. We popped the cork on this thing, and we've got a lot of fun to come this summer.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Mont Saint Anne, Silver Star, new venues for the World Tour. It's going to be awesome. I've heard those Mont Saint Anne fans bring it.
For sure. Tomorrow, slopestyle. What can you expect? You can expect some of the biggest named riders in slopestyle. We're talking about Caden Ingersoll, Nikolai Ragakin, Eric Fedko. It's going to go crazy. Here we go, 9 a.m. New Zealand time tomorrow. check your local time zone to figure out when you can wake up, set your alarm, and join us for the Ōtautahi slopestyle live tomorrow. All right, everybody out there joining us from all over the world, thanks for watching the Redemption Downhill. We'll see you tomorrow for slopestyle.